Good evening and a very warm welcome to the Kenya Defence Forces Weekly Bulletin. I am Senior Private Jeff Mwangi. The Bulletin is your trusted source for weekly updates on defence activities, from operational highlights to the latest developments at the Ministry of Defence. And here are our top stories for tonight. Kenya Defence Forces marks World AIDS Day with global call for vigilance. Kenya Defence Forces unveils first AI-trained officers. Commander Kenya Army visits troops in Turkana. Kahawa Garrison rallies troops for safer roads. General Service Officer Cadet candidates undergo rigorous selection process. And in sports, Commander Kenya Navy holds inaugural chess tournament. To start us off, the Kenya Defence Forces has joined troops worldwide in marking the World AIDS Day, renewing its pledge to keep its ranks healthy, resilient and mission ready. Events held on 1st December stretched from the Defence Headquarters in Nairobi to the Kenya Defence Forces bases across the country. They extended into Somalia and the Democratic Republic of Congo, where Kenyan troops are deployed for peacekeeping missions. This year's theme was Overcoming Disruption, Transforming the AIDS Response. Our reporter has more on this.
The main events for the Kenya Defence Forces took place at Kahawa Garrison, where Commander Kenya Army Lieutenant General David Keter, representing the Chief of Defence Forces, General Charles Kahariri, urged soldiers to embrace behavioral change, integrate HIV services into daily routines, and ensure that affected personnel continue to serve with dignity. At Defence Headquarters, Commandant Colonel Gideon Bebora led the ceremony and delivered a message from Chief of Defence Forces, reaffirming Kenya Defence Forces' commitment to health education, stigma reduction, and routine testing. Specialists held sessions on prevention, treatment, and lived experiences, urging personnel to embrace early testing and new prevention tools. Parallel activities across Kenya Air Force bases, led by Brigadier Herbert Wafula at Moi Air Base and Brigadier Mohamud Farah at Laikipia, focused on counseling, testing, and testimonials encouraging empathy and shared responsibility. In the Boni Enclave, Operation Amani Boni troops and Kenya Navy personnel at Manda Bay, led by Brigadier Lazarus Wafula, were urged to make informed decisions in strenuous environments, with emotional testimonies reinforcing the need for vigilance and compassion. In Baringo, Operation Maliza Uhalifu teams offered free testing, health checks, and clean water to residents. Across the region, the African Union Support and Stabilization Mission in Somalia Sector 2, troops held sensitization sessions and joint commemorations in Kismayo, Doble, and Afmado, where community outreach served more than 134 residents. Kenya Quick Reaction Force 5 was not left behind in the Democratic Republic of Congo, as they joined MONUSCO peacekeepers to highlight issues of HIV in conflict zones.
On to matters tech, the Vice Chief of Defence Forces, Lieutenant General John Omenda, presided over the closing of the inaugural Data Science and Artificial Intelligence course at the Humanitarian Peace Support School, marking the end of a 2-week intensive program.
The training brought together 25 senior officers and officers from various Kenya Defence Forces formations, guided by experts from the Netherlands Department of Data Science Center of Excellence. The program immersed participants in machine learning, big data analytics, predictive modeling, automation systems, and AI-driven intelligence analysis, with practical simulations reflecting real-world peace support and humanitarian missions. Lieutenant General John Omenda hailed the partnership for launching the course and affirmed that advanced data-driven tools are now central to operational planning, sharper decision-making, and mission effectiveness. He urged graduates to apply their skills to elevate Kenya Defence Forces' digital readiness. Netherlands Deputy Ambassador Joka Birens echoed the value of international collaboration, noting the growing role of artificial intelligence in strengthening defense and security capabilities. He applauded Kenya Defense Forces for adopting cutting-edge technologies to enhance efficiency and readiness. The ceremony concluded with the awarding of certificates to the first cohort, officially ushering them in as Kenya Defense Forces pioneering officers trained in AI and data science.
Commander Kenya Army Lieutenant General David Keter has visited troops deployed in Turkana County, delivering his annual Christmas and New Year message as he commended their commitment to securing the nation's borders. Take a look.
During the visit, Lieutenant General Keter inspected military installations, engaged with soldiers, assessed their welfare, and received updates on ongoing operations across the region. Addressing the troops, he praised their resilience in a demanding environment, noting that while families across the country celebrate the festive season, the soldiers' presence on the front lines guarantees national peace and security. He urged them to maintain vigilance and uphold discipline, integrity, and professionalism as they carry out their duties.
Kenya Defense Forces personnel at Kahawa Garrison marked Kenya Army Road Safety Day with a procession and expert engagement aimed at reducing traffic incidences among troops. The annual event, observed every 27th November, opened with a march around the garrison, an expression of the Army's commitment to safer driving within its ranks and beyond.
Deputy Commandant of Traffic Police Headquarters, Commissioner of Police Tom Okoth, led the ceremony alongside Colonel Dr. Mtongwe representing the Kenya Army. Specialists from NTSA, the National Police Service Traffic Department, and Isuzu East Africa briefed soldiers on responsible driving, vehicle safety, and preventive practices both on and off duty. Mr. Okoth commended the Kenya Army for sustaining a safety culture through regular training, annual awareness campaigns, and strict compliance measures. He urged personnel to remain disciplined on the road and called on other agencies to adopt similar approaches, especially during seasons when accidents rise. Colonel Dr. Mtongwe focused on behavior, cautioning against overspeeding, alcohol use, drug abuse, and other risky habits that lead to preventable accidents. He urged troops to safeguard their lives, families, and careers through responsible decisions.
The Islamic Military Counterterrorism Coalition has launched an advanced 5-day training program in Nairobi, bringing together military and security personnel from member states to tighten regional cooperation against terrorism financing and emerging security threats. The course features expert-led sessions, workshops, and scenario-based exercises designed to enhance both operational and strategic capability across participating forces.
Deputy Army Commander Major General Mohammed Nur Hassan, who opened the event, called for stronger regional collaboration, noting the growing sophistication of terrorist networks and the need for states to adopt modern strategies and robust intelligence sharing systems. Abdullahi Al-Maudifa, head of Counterterrorism Financing Department, addressed the gathering, stressing the vital role of financial intelligence in breaking terror networks. He urged member states to improve monitoring of illicit financial flows and coordinate efforts to disrupt funding channels. Participants examined terrorism financing structures, refining counterintelligence techniques, and strengthening interagency cooperation, while also assessing emerging threats and advanced response mechanisms.
Moving on, shortlisted candidates for the Kenya Defense Forces General Service Officer Regular Cadet positions reported at the Kenya Military Academy in Lanet for this year's recruitment exercise.
The candidates will undergo a rigorous evaluation process, with successful applicants proceeding to a 3-year training program leading to a Bachelor of Science in Defense and Security Studies. Chief Recruitment Officer Brigadier Samuel Kimani opened the exercise, emphasizing Kenya Defense Forces' commitment to a free, fair, and transparent selection.
We are not going to onboard all of you. and therefore the selection we are just about to start is very competitive, it's demanding, and a noble one.
He noted that the process is competitive but assures candidates of a merit-based assessment designed to develop discipline, moral integrity, resilience, and leadership under pressure. Brigadier Alphonse Dar, Recruitment Chief Coordinator, reinforced the warning against bribery and recruitment scams, urging candidates to report any suspicious activity to preserve Kenya Defence Forces integrity and ensure justice.
We take a short break. We'll be back in a moment.
From the vast grazing fields to your plate, Kenya Meat Commission is your trusted source for premium quality meat products. With over 70 years of experience, KMC upholds the highest standards in meat processing, ensuring fresh, safe, and nutritious products for households across Kenya. Supplying excellence, KMC guarantees top-tier beef, mutton, and canned meat, meeting your needs with consistency and quality. Looking for the best in meat? Choose Kenya Meat Commission, where quality meets trust.
Welcome back. Crossing over to the North Rift region, Kenya Defence Forces troops under Operation Maliza Uhalifu, in partnership with African Inland Church Chemulengot Township, carried out a humanitarian outreach in Kangir, Baringo North Sub-County, an area prone to insecurity and banditry. The joint team distributed goats, food, clothing, and other essential supplies to local families, aiming to boost community resilience, foster trust, and encourage peaceful coexistence.
During the visit, Kenya Defence Forces personnel reaffirmed their commitment to stabilizing the region and strengthening civilian security relations, emphasizing peace building as a core part of Operation Maliza Uhalifu in the North Rift. Local leaders and residents welcomed the support, noting that such initiatives restore confidence, hope, and unity within the community. The outreach forms part of ongoing efforts by the Kenya Defence Forces and other agencies to create a secure environment that allows families in the North Rift to rebuild their livelihoods.
33 years after marching out of the then Armed Forces Training College, members of Intech 27 came together for a vibrant anniversary reunion at the Jamhuri International Trade Fair grounds, drawing both serving and retired officers from Kenya and allied nations.
The officers paid tribute to 21 Kenyan colleagues and several allied counterparts who have since passed on, taking a moment to reflect on the training, operations, and shared experiences that shaped their careers. Now in its fourth edition, the reunion offered space for brief reflections on life after service, key lessons from their training, and calls for stronger unity. In his address, Major General Rugendo praised the organizers and urged the team to hold future reunions annually, rotating venues across regions. The event wrapped up with a raffle featuring branded Intech 27/92 at 33 memorabilia. Notable officers from Intech 27 include Major General Burji, Major General Rugendo, Brigadier Gatere, Brigadier Banda, Brigadier Huria, Brigadier Mburu, Brigadier Leriari, Colonel Retired Magiri, Lieutenant Colonel Mwandago, Major Retired Ikua, and Major Retired Honorable Bashir.
Crossing borders to the United Kingdom, Kenya Defence Forces officers joined militaries from around the world at the Defence Academy of the United Kingdom's International Day in Sheringham, Swindon. The annual event offered a stage for nations to share culture, defence capabilities, and deepen international cooperation. Take a look.
Kenyan officers attending the Advanced Command and Staff course mounted an exhibition stand displaying the country's rich heritage, from Big Five wildlife attractions to traditional cuisine, while also showcasing Kenya's growing multi-domain defense industry. Presentations on shipbuilding and aviation centers of excellence demonstrated Kenya's expanding industrial capacity in support of national and economic security. Kenya's defense attaché to the United Kingdom, Colonel Abdirizak Dagane, Exchange Directing Staff, officials from the Kenya High Commission in London, and members of the Kenyan diaspora joined the officers, affirming Kenya's commitment to strengthening defense diplomacy on the global stage.
And in sports, the Kenya Navy has wrapped up its first Commander Kenya Navy Chess Tournament, a contest designed to sharpen the strategic thinking of naval personnel and strengthen operational readiness.
Commander Kenya Navy, Major General Paul Otieno, presided over the closing ceremony at the Kenya Navy base Mtongwe, noting that the maiden contest marks a new approach to professional development within the service. He said chess mirrors the decision-making demands of maritime operations, calling it a discipline that nurtures strategy, patience, foresight, and decisiveness, qualities central to Kenya Navy crews at sea. The game, he said, trains service personnel to assess situations, analyze options, and adapt under pressure, strengthening problem-solving skills vital in real-life missions.
That's all for tonight. Thank you for watching. We look forward to your feedback via our official social media platforms and your continued viewership next week on the Kenya Defence Forces Weekly Bulletin. I am Senior Private Jeff Mwangi. Goodbye.